Good morning and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in today for this amazing book. And today we are reading Grown-Ups Never Do That. And this one is written by Davide, Cali and Benjamin Chaud. Good morning to you and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you're ready for a good laugh. I hope you're ready for a beautiful book. Good morning to you. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining in wherever you're joining us from. And yes, indeed, I am so glad to be here with you and to share this beautiful story. And this one we are reading with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Yes, a big thank you indeed to all the authors, illustrators, and of course publishers that have allowed us to share many great books right here on Storytime. Thank you so much. Do check out where you can find yourself a copy in the links below, but of course you can also find these books at your local libraries. So be sure to check those out and have them at home so you can enjoy them some more. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. And of course you can find Storytime 10:30 live right here, 10:30 Pacific time every weekday. But you can also find us on our YouTube channel as well as the Facebook page right here. Thank you so much for joining in and I hope you enjoy today's story. I hope you had a lovely week and ready for this beautiful weekend to begin. Thank you so much. Today we're reading Grown-Ups Never Do That. No, no, no. by Davide, Cali and illustrations by Benjamin Chaud. Good morning to you and welcome to Storytime. Let us see who is joining us today on this beautiful Friday morning. First one in the house. Good morning to you, Lucy and Wally, and of course Anne Braveman Gibbs. Good morning to you. How are you doing today? Welcome to Storytime. Yes, indeed. Grown-ups never do that. Good morning to you, Amanda West. How are you doing today? Sarah and Nathan, how are you? Thank you so much for joining in. How are you today out in Illinois? Good morning to you. And of course, Camille, thank you so much for joining us. Milo, how are you doing today? And Sharon Lungo, good morning to you with Soraya out in Oakland. And happy birthday to you, Sharon Lungo. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a great day. Yes, indeed. And we're starting it off with story time right here. And I hope you get to enjoy the rest of it. Do what you please. Thank you so much. It is your day. Enjoy it. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Madalena Iron and Chaud in San Francisco. You say happy Friday. Yes, indeed. Happy Friday to everybody from Chaud in San Francisco. Milo, how are you doing today? Please let me know if anybody's joining in with you and where you're joining us from today. Milo Monopolis Bateman, good morning to you. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining in. And greetings from Alameda. It's Molly and Birdie. How are you doing today? And Jonathan, of course, good morning to you. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining in. And you say, we're ready for a good laugh. Absolutely, I guarantee it today. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in. Amanda, where Sarah and Nathan in Illinois, one more time. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Marvin Injekwa, welcome back, my brother. Good morning to you. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining us all the way out in Lusaka, Zambia. Good evening out there. Thank you so much for joining in, Marvin. And Marvin, who is joining in with you today? Lucy and Wally are cozy under a blanket. Oh, Lucy and Wally, you should also check out the book from last Thursday, Luca's Special Blanket. I think you will love it. The perfect read for that kind of weather. Thank you so much for joining in. And Lucy wants to know what your favorite animal is. Ooh. All right, Lucy, great question. I love snakes, even though I'm afraid of them. I do love snakes. I will not get close, but I love watching documentaries about snakes and just watching the whole life. They fascinate me. Thank you for that question, Lucy. Snakes. Camille, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, listening with Marco. How are you doing, baby Marco? And Jayada, how are you as well? And Santiago, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Baby Marco, growing every day. Thank you, Camille, for joining us today. Harmony Beth, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in. As always, great to see you here. Thank you for joining Story Time. Happy Friday to you. Jen Vera, glad you're able to join us on this Friday. Thank you so much for joining in. Happy Friday to you and congratulations. I heard you won the raffle last night. If I were there, I would have given you competition, Jen. Congratulations. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Sharon Lungo, absolutely welcome. Thank you for sharing part of your special day with us on Story Time. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Happy birthday to you. Yes. Party, party, party. Jen Vera, Isaac Ichisenga, all the way out in Livingston, Zambia. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining in. And Phoebe as well, good morning to you. Lushomo, how are you doing? And please remind me your brother's name one more time. Terry, McLeodka, Sweka, how are you doing? Miketile. Good morning to you. And Abraham, how are you doing? Right here close by in San Leandro, California. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in, Abraham. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining in. Marvin, good morning to you. And you say, well, grown-ups never do that. Watching from Lusaka to Zambia. Are you ready? In Lusaka, Zambia, are you ready? Milo, thank you for reminding me. Thank you for letting us know you're joining in with Charlene. How are you doing, Charlene, today? And greetings to you. And oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm sure Lydia will appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining in today. Milo, thank you. Charlene, good morning to you, sweetheart. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. Clementine Ford with Eli and Wells, 2 days in a row. I am so happy. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in. Good to have you back. How are you doing, baby brother? Kakompe, how are you doing all the way out in Lusaka, Zambia? Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in. Susan Adrian, how are you doing today? Great to see you here on Story Time. The more the merrier. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. Absolutely love it. Thank you. I hope you are doing well. Yes, I hope you're ready for this one today. Grown-ups never do that. By Davide, Cali and Benjamin Chaud. Good morning to you. Harmony Beth, happy Friday to you and saying thank you. Oh, absolutely. I hope you have a great weekend as well. Those wishes are making my weekend already a great one. Thank you so much. Nathan wants to share that his favorite animal is also a snake, the king cobra. All right. Way to go, Nathan. Absolutely. I hear you on that. Ellen Edwards in Chicago. Good morning to you. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining in. I am glad you're here. Marvin Jekwa, you say you're joining in with Lutabezi. Yes, Lutabezi out in Lusaka, Zambia. Thank you so much for joining in and listening in to Story Time. Ellen Edwards, sunny Chicago. How are you doing today? Marie Sarabia, how are you doing today? Thank you for joining in. Who is joining in with you today? Eli, I love pizza. I love pizza. Yes, indeed, I do. Thank you for your question. Do you like pizza as well? All right, let us get started with our story today, and we will get back to our greetings later on. But right now, we are reading Grown-ups Never Do That. No, no, no. And this one is written by Davide Cali and illustrations by Benjamin Chaud. And we're reading this one with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. All right, here we go. Adults never misbehave. They are never selfish. They never yell. They never cry. They never interrupt. They never say bad words. They are never clumsy. What is happening there? Oh, there. Oh. They never make funny faces. They never lose their temper. Adults are never wrong. No, never wrong, ever. They never cheat. They never sulk. They never forget. And they never blame. They're never messy. Not if you've not visited my classroom. And they're never late. They never speak with their mouths full. They never burp. They never complain, especially about waking up. They never neglect their chores. They never waste time. They never litter. Adults are always good. So, you really should be just like them. Understand? Oh, the end. The perfect adult. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. Kids, I think you're doing just great. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. I hope you enjoyed this great week that we've had for you. Great stories, great lessons for everybody. And of course, today we were rounding off with How to Be the Perfect Adult. Grown-ups Never Do That by Davide, Cali, and Benjamin Chaud. And of course, we were reading this one with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Yes, indeed. A good reminder for all of us adults. And of course, for the kids as well. Please just be you. You are perfect just the way you are. We love you. We love you so much. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you had a good laugh just like I did. And yes, indeed, do check out where you can find this book below in the link below. But also, do check it out at your local library if you can. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. And of course, next week is a special program. We will be reading books coming from the Social Justice Holiday Book Fair. So do join us for amazing books from that. For all 5 days next week, we'll be reading books based on that Social Justice Holiday Book Fair. And it's for kids. So absolutely join in. And it will be hosted this year by yours truly. I will be there. So please make sure that you join in to next week for that, for the stories, so you can find out more about the Social Justice Book Fair that will be happening. It'll be all online. So see how you can join in. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. Let us see one more time who was with us. We had a lot in the house today. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. And of course, a big thank you to you, Soraya and Sharon Lungo, for joining in, especially Sharon today for sharing part of your birthday with us. Thank you so much for joining in. Ellen Edwards in Chicago, sunny Chicago, you say today. Thank you so much. Please enjoy it. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. Marie Sarabia, how are you doing? One more time. And Eli, love pizza. I hope you do too. What is your favorite flavor? But thank you so much. And of course, Anne Braveman, Lucy and Wally, thank you so much. And I love those emojis. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the book today. Asta and Obsa, thank you so much for joining in today. Obsa, it was great seeing you, running into you at the store the other day. And I hope you're having yourself a great day and indeed a great start at your new school. Thank you so much for joining in. Terry McLeod, thank you so much. You say, I personally love this book. It sounds like me. I agree with you 100%. That feels like me too. And I bet every adult there could relate. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Faith Wood McBride, thank you so much for joining us. Please let us know where you joined us from, Faith. Absolutely love having you here. And please let us know if anybody was with you. Yes, indeed. Lots of giggles. I love that, Lucy and Wally. Absolutely appreciate it. Have yourselves a beautiful weekend as well. And we're back next week with stories from the social justice fair. Absolutely loving it. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, Antonia, and of course Maria. Antonia, how are you doing today? Thank you for joining in Story Time. Benjamin, Jen Vera, you say, I love Benjamin Chaud's illustrations. They are absolutely wonderful. I enjoyed it. I'm glad you were here to enjoy that book with us. Sonette SB, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in. As always, appreciate you. Have yourself a beautiful weekend. Jonathan Keeper. You say, so true. I never do any of those things. Neither do I. Thank you. Absolutely love it. Maria Antonia, Sharon Lungo, thank you. Have a beautiful day. I hope the rest of your day is just as amazing and it even gets better and better. Thank you so much. Social Justice Holiday Book Fair. Yes, says Jen Veda. Yes, indeed, Jen Veda. We will be there. We will be there. Next Saturday, it's happening. But the whole of next week, we'll be reading books from authors in that fair. Thank you so much for joining in. Clementine, you say cheese pizza. Thank you for letting me know, Eli. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for joining in. Sheba Chanda and Benjamin out in Lusaka, Zambia. Thank you so much for joining in. It has been a great week. It has been a wonderful time spending here with you on Storytime. Please do join me next week with more exciting stories. Do join in. Have yourselves a beautiful, beautiful week. Much love from me as always, and I will see you in the morning. Bye-bye. I will see you on Monday. No, on Monday. Adults never forget. I'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.